Have you ever dreamed of places so surreal they feel pulled from the pages of myth, or painted in the hues of a forgotten dream? Across continents and cultures, scattered like sacred whispers from the past, lie Earth's most extraordinary wonders landscapes. Carved by fire and ice, cities swallowed by time, and mountains that touch the heavens. These are not just destinations. They are living echoes of ancient stories, where nature and humanity meet in moments of breathtaking harmony and mystery. Welcome to Time Travel 4K, where our journey transcends the ordinary. In this episode, we take you across hidden realms and timeless worlds where every stone, wave, and shadow holds a secret. From the crystalline waters of Piva Lake in the Balkans to the sky-piercing majesty of Mount Elbrus in the Caucasus. From the sacred silence of Japan's Mount Fuji to the haunting depths of the Dead Sea, you'll witness ancient monasteries perched above man-made lakes, walk the terraces of Vietnam sculpted by generations past, and soar above Cappadocia's fairy tale chimneys at sunrise. We'll traverse sacred lands where gods once dwelled, dive into the myths of sacred waterfalls, and stand in awe of mountains that have challenged humanity's courage for centuries. But this isn't just a journey of landscapes. It's a journey through time, through culture, through spirit. So sit back, turn up the volume, and let us guide you into the world's most spellbinding places. Shot in stunning 4K, every frame captures not just the beauty of these wonders, but the soul behind them. Because here at Time Travel 4K, the world isn't just seen, it's felt. Let's begin. Tucked away in the remote mountains of northern Vietnam, far from bustling cities, lies a quiet wonder Mù Cang Chai. Located in Yên Bai province near the Hong Linh Sun Range, just a few hours from Sapa, this hidden gem is home to some of the most mesmerizing terraced rice fields on Earth. Unlike its more touristy neighbor, Mù Cang Chai remains largely untouched, preserving its natural charm and cultural depth. Here, the hills are sculpted into cascading golden steps hand-carved over generations by the Hmong people. These terraces, built entirely by hand, are not just an agricultural feat, but a symbol of resilience and tradition. For centuries, the Hmong have shaped these steep slopes into fertile fields, guided only by instinct, rainfall, and the wisdom of elders. Every curve reflects harmony between humans and nature. What makes Mù Cang Chai truly special is not just its beauty, but the feeling it inspires. Early mornings bring a veil of mist over the fields, and as the sun rises, light reveals the soft golden layers of the land. The silence is powerful. It encourages you to slow down, breathe deeper, and truly see. The best time to visit is during harvest season, from late September to early October. The rice terraces glow in vivid gold, especially in La Pantan, Che, Siu Na, and the Su Phin, 3 communes recognized as National Heritage Sites. During this time, the hills come alive with farmers harvesting rice, children playing barefoot along narrow dikes, and women in traditional dress carrying baskets of crops. Life here is simple, yet deeply rooted in pride and connection, sustainable. Tourism is slowly making its way into the region, allowing travelers to experience its beauty while preserving its spirit. Homestays offer more than just a place to sleep. They're an invitation to join the daily rhythm of mountain life. Share meals of sticky rice and grilled pork, learn to weave with local women, or join in planting rice during the season. To understand Mù Cang Chai is to appreciate how closely the people live with the land. No machines, no plans, just ancestral knowledge and a deep respect for the natural world. Rice terraces are shaped by hand and eye, aligned with rainfall, moon phases, and seasonal rhythms. It's a quiet, deliberate process, one that speaks volumes about patience and harmony. For those seeking adventure or inspiration, Mù Cang Chai offers both. Trekking trails wind through rice fields, bamboo groves, and ancient trees, with views that rival any national park. Artists and photographers often find deep creative energy here, in the patterns of embroidery, the stories in local songs, and the fingerprint-like curves of the terraces. Khao Pha Pass, one of Vietnam's most scenic mountain passes, offers breathtaking views of the valley. During festival season, you might even witness paragliders soaring over the fields, adding a splash of color to the golden landscape below. Mu Kang Chai isn't a place that shouts for attention, it whispers. Through a farmer's smile, a child's laughter, or the rustle of wind in the rice, it invites you into a world where time flows slowly, and every moment is tied to the rhythm of the earth. Tucked away in the lush mountains along the Vietnam-China border lies one of Southeast Asia's most captivating natural wonders, Ban Giac Falls, called Phac Ban Gic in Vietnamese and Dishan Falls in Chinese. Unlike the more tourist-heavy waterfalls around the world, Ban Giac remains serene and relatively untouched, offering a genuine connection to nature and history. The waterfall spans over 300 meters wide and drops around 30 meters into a jade green pool. Its waters cascade down in multiple tiers, creating a graceful rhythm that seems to dance with the wind. On sunny days, the mist produces rainbows that float above the river, adding to its magical feel. Bamboo rafts drift gently near the base, giving visitors a close-up view of the roaring currents. Surrounding the falls are dramatic limestone karsts, towering rock formations that rise like ancient watchtowers. These sugarloaf peaks, mirrored in the tranquil waters of the Khoai San River, form a natural boundary between Vietnam and China. The river itself is calm and winds through rice fields, stilt houses, and quiet border villages, painting a scene of peaceful rural life. Geologically, Ban Giac is part of a massive karst system that stretches across Guangxi and Cao Bun, shaped over hundreds of millions of years. But beyond its scientific value, the area is steeped in legend. Local folklore tells of mountain spirits, heavenly fairies, and star-crossed lovers whose tears gave birth to the river. These stories, passed down through generations, give the land its soul. Ban Giac Falls is also a highlight of the Nan Enchis Khao Ban UNESCO Global Geopark, recognized for its geological and cultural richness. Visitors to the region can explore fossil-filled cliffs, ancient caves, and sculpted rock formations, each a chapter in the Earth's deep history. Unlike many popular destinations, Ban Giac retains a rare tranquility. You won't find flashy ticket booths or loud crowds here. Instead, you'll hear the rustle of trees, the call of birds, and the rush of water. Local families run homestays, cook traditional meals, and welcome travelers with stories of their ancestors. The area is home to ethnic groups like the Tay and Neng, whose customs, from hand-woven brocade to water puppetry, are still alive today. During festivals like TGT Nguyen Yan or Ling Tien, villages burst into color and sound, with ritual dances and offerings to the land. These aren't tourist performances, they are authentic expressions of a living culture. Ban Giac is also a place of quiet reflection. At dawn, monks from nearby pagodas walk through the mist, and at sunset, the sky turns indigo behind the karsts. These moments remind you that this isn't just a scenic spot, it's a place that invites stillness and wonder. Though once a point of territorial dispute, Ban Giac today stands as a symbol of peaceful coexistence. Travelers from both nations meet on the river, exchanging smiles and stories from bamboo rafts, proof that nature can unite where politics once divided. The surrounding forest is home to rare orchids, butterflies, and birds like the white-winged magpie. Conservation is vital here, and visitors are encouraged to travel responsibly, leaving no trace in supporting local efforts. A trip to Ban Giac often begins with a journey through the winding Dong Qui Bec Qui Pass, where limestone Caves like Injum Ingao offer underground marvels of stalactites and flowing rivers. Whether you visit in the dry season for crystal clear views or during the rainy season for thundering waters, Banjiak offers more than beauty, it offers perspective. This is not just a waterfall. It's a gateway to a deeper way of seeing, feeling, and connecting with the land, its people, and the stories that still echo in the mist. Piva Lake, tucked away in Montenegro's northwest near the Bosnia and Herzegovina border, is one of the Balkans' hidden gems. Winding through steep limestone cliffs and pine-covered mountains, this shimmering, serpentine body of water looks like a natural masterpiece carved by time. But few visitors realize it's actually man-made a reservoir. Formed in 1975 after the Piva hydroelectric dam was built near the town of Pluzine. Despite its artificial origins, Piva Lake radiates untamed beauty. Its surreal turquoise waters stretch over 45 kilometers, plunging to depths of 200 meters, making it one of Europe's deepest and most stunning reservoirs. The shoreline twists and turns with the terrain, forming countless coves, inlets, and cliffs, each offering quiet seclusion or wild adventure. The road that hugs the lake's edge is an experience in itself. Carved directly into the rock, it reveals jaw-dropping views at every turn, hidden caves, cascading waterfalls, and vibrant wildflowers blooming in spring and early summer. This route, connecting Pluzine and Nexik, is both an engineering marvel and a visual feast. One of the lake's most iconic sites is the Piva Monastery. Originally built in the 16th century, it was carefully relocated, stone by stone, to higher ground before the valley was flooded. Today it overlooks the lake, preserving its priceless frescoes and serving as a powerful reminder of Montenegro's dedication to heritage. That tradition still runs deep in this region. Shepherds guide flocks through the hills, and the scent of pine and mountain air fills the valleys. Small villages with stone houses cling to the slopes, where locals speak in ancient dialects and serve time-honored dishes like sikvara and homemade rakija to lucky travelers. For outdoor lovers, Piva is a dream. The lake is ideal for kayaking, paddleboarding, and fishing. Its clear waters teeming with trout and grayling. Trails in the surrounding mountains offer unforgettable hikes and biking routes. One of the most magical experiences is kayaking into one of the lake's narrow arms, where steep cliffs rise like walls, and the only sounds are the dip of your paddle and the whisper of wind through the trees. What sets Piva Lake apart isn't just the scenery, it's the stillness it brings. It doesn't scream for attention, it quietly draws you in. At dawn, as mist hovers above the glassy surface and soft blue light wraps the peaks, time seems to slow. Though man-made, the lake has taken on a soul claimed and reshaped by nature. Framing the lake is the awe-inspiring Piva Canyon, over 1,200 meters deep and second in Europe only to the nearby Terra Canyon. Driving through its tunnels and switchbacks offers views that are dramatic yet uncrowded, gift for travelers seeking authenticity. Legends linger in these mountains. Tales of resistance fighters, outlaw hideouts, and spirits whispered beside campfires. Some even say the drowned valley still murmurs under the moonlight. Whether myth or memory, these stories live on in the land. The area is also an ecological haven, home to wolves, bears, eagles, and herons. For photographers and nature lovers, the ever-changing light golden autumns, vivid summers, misty mornings is a constant invitation. Piva Lake isn't about ticking boxes on a tourist list. It's about feeling the rhythm of the earth, savoring a slower pace, and rediscovering what it means to be present. It doesn't need to boast, it just exists, quietly unforgettable. For those who visit, its beauty leaves a lasting imprint. Rising high above the Caucasus Mountains, Mount Elbrus stands not just as Europe's tallest peak at 5,642 meters, 18,510 feet, but as a beacon of myth, endurance, and adventure. Though less publicized than the Alps or Everest, Elbrus is one of the 7 summits, making it a coveted prize for climbers worldwide. Unlike the jagged silhouettes of other giants, Elbrus is a dormant volcano, with twin summits sloping gently beneath a permanent crown of snow. Its smooth contours may look welcoming, but the climb is anything but easy. Sudden storms and thinning oxygen make each step a serious challenge, especially near the summit. Geographically, Elbrus straddles southern Russia, near the Georgia border, at the cultural and historical intersection of Europe and Asia. The mountain's name is likely rooted in the Persian word Alborz, mentioned in ancient Zoroastrian texts. Legends swirl around this land, most famously the Greek myth of Prometheus, said to have been chained to Elbrus as punishment for giving fire to humanity. His liver devoured by an eagle each day. Elbrus's modern climbing history began in the 19th century. A British team reached the East Summit in 1868, followed by a Russian ascent of the higher West Summit in 1874. Since then, it's become a milestone for adventurers chasing the 7 summits. While technically less complex than Everest or Denali, Elbrus poses its own dangers, chiefly unpredictable weather and high altitude. Most climbs start in Turquoise, a town in the Baksan Valley. A cable car takes visitors up to mountain huts like Garabashi or Lipras, perched around 3,800 meters. Here, strangers become teammates, sharing warm meals, stories, and early morning summit plans. Acclimatization hikes are critical. Without them, altitude sickness can be brutal. Climbers usually begin their summit attempt around 2 or 3 a.m. under a sky glittering with stars. The world is silent, but alive. Crunching snow beneath crampons, climbers ascend into a 360-degree panorama of Wonder Kazbek to the east, clouds below, and the Black Sea on the horizon. Reaching the top at sunrise is more than a physical victory, it's spiritual. But Elbrus is more than a mountaineer's dream. In summer, alpine meadows bloom with wildflowers, painting the valleys in purple and gold. In winter, the lower slopes attract skiers, while Nalhik, the nearby city, offers spa retreats and Kabardian culture. The indigenous Balkar and Karachi people share age-old traditions of music, storytelling, and cuisine. In the villages at Elbrus's base, time moves slowly. Locals herd sheep, bake kaichen flatbreads, and offer tea to visitors. They speak of the mountain not as something to conquer, but as a living presence, powerful, patient, watching. Scientifically, Elbrus is also significant. Its glaciers, once unbroken, now show signs of retreat due to climate change. Researchers study these changes closely, making Elbrus not only a natural wonder, but an environmental bellwether. There's even a Cold War era chapter, the Pride 11 hut, built in the 1960s, once held the record for highest permanent structure in Europe. Though it burned down in 1998, it remains a symbol of ambition and nature's unpredictability. Despite its grandeur, Elbrus remains relatively quiet on the global stage. It doesn't clamor for attention, it whispers, waiting for those who listen. Whether you reach its summit or simply admire it from below, Elbrus offers a rare kind of beauty, one that humbles, inspires, and lingers in the soul. In the arid stretch between Israel and Jordan lies the Dead Sea, an ancient, otherworldly body of water unlike any place on earth. Known in Hebrew as Yam HaMelech or Sea of Salt, it rests more than 430 meters, 1,400 feet, below sea level. making it the lowest point on the Earth's surface. What sets the dead sea apart is its salinity, nearly 10 times saltier than the ocean. This extreme concentration makes it impossible for swimmers to sink. Floating effortlessly on its surface is an experience that feels almost supernatural, as if gravity itself has loosened its grip. This is no ordinary lake, it's a relic of geological history formed around 3 million years ago along the Syrian-African rift. Tectonic shifts, floods, and ancient climate changes carved out this hypersaline basin, which now hosts no fish or aquatic plants. Yet its mineral-rich mud and salt have been treasured for centuries. From Cleopatra's beauty rituals to modern spa seekers, the Dead Sea has long been viewed as nature's wellness sanctuary. The mud is believed to soothe skin conditions like psoriasis, and the air rich in oxygen and low in allergens offers therapeutic benefits. The region is also steeped in history and legend. Nearby lie biblical sites such as the ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah, thought by many to have been destroyed in this very valley. A short distance north, the Qumran Caves hide one of the greatest archaeological finds of the 20th century, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered in 1947, these ancient texts shed light on early Judaism and the origins of Christianity, deepening the region's spiritual and cultural significance. But the Dead Sea is vanishing. It's shrinking by more than a meter each year. Water from the Jordan River, its main source, has been diverted for agriculture and human use, while mineral extraction worsens the problem. As the shoreline recedes, vast sinkholes appear where oases once thrived, threatening both the environment and local communities. Efforts to save the Dead Sea have included proposals like the Red Sea Dead Sea Water Conveyance Project, which would channel water from the Red Sea to slow the decline while generating energy and drinking water. But the plan is controversial and complex, raising concerns about ecological impact and long-term sustainability. Despite these challenges, the Dead Sea remains a place of profound peace. At sunrise, the sky glows lavender over salt crystals that gleam like diamonds. Strange, luminous salt formations rise from the water like relics of a forgotten world. The silence here is unlike anywhere else, not just quiet, but a deep, resonant stillness that seems to come from the earth itself. Visitors come to float, snap photos, or slather on mud, but those who linger often leave changed. Walking along its salt-encrusted shore offers a rare sense of connection to something timeless and powerful. The Dead Sea reminds us not only of nature's wonders, but also of their fragility, and of our responsibility to preserve them. Come, not just for the healing water, but for the story it tells of ancient earth, sacred history, and a fragile beauty on the edge of transformation. Mount Fuji, Japan's tallest peak at 3,776 meters, 12,389 feet, rises with quiet majesty and has long been revered as a cultural and spiritual symbol. Located about 100 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, this nearly symmetrical volcano stands like a silent guardian, its snow-capped peak floating above the clouds and changing hues with the seasons. In spring, it towers over cherry blossoms. In summer, it welcomes climbers seeking sunrise at the summit, a tradition known as Garaiko. Autumn wraps its foothills in fiery color, and winter offers pristine views from Tokyo on clear mornings. Fuji, or Fujisan as it's respectfully called, is more than a natural wonder. It's a sacred site, a muse for artists, and a timeless symbol in Japanese identity. Geologically, it was formed over older volcanoes Komatake and Kofugian. Its last eruption in 1707 blanketed Edo, modern Tokyo, in ash. Though dormant since, it remains an active stratovolcano, closely watched by scientists. Spiritually, Fuji has been central in Shinto and Buddhist traditions. In Shintoism, it's believed to be the home of Konohana Sakuenkai, the blossom goddess of volcanoes. For centuries, pilgrims, some barefoot, dressed in white, climbed its slopes, seeking purification and enlightenment. The mountain embodies values like impermanence, resilience, and serenity. Artists and writers have long found inspiration in Fuji. Hokusai's famed woodblock series 36 views of Mount Fuji, especially the Great Wave off Kanagawa, immortalized its form. Poets like Basu described its presence with reverence, capturing its stillness and strength. From early July to early September, Fuji opens for climbing along 4 main routes: Yoshida, Subashiri, Gotemba, and Fujinomiya. Most climbers start at the 5th station and ascend overnight to witness Garaiko. Though technically non-difficult, the climb poses challenges: thin air, cold winds, and altitude sickness. Yet the shared spirit among hikers, elders, families, students creates a powerful, communal experience. For those not climbing, the Fuji 5 Lakes area Kawaguchi, Yamanaka, Sai, Shoshi, and Matosu offers stunning views. Lake Kawaguchi is especially famous for its glassy reflections of the mountain, framed by autumn leaves or spring blossoms. Another iconic spot is Shirado Pagoda, where Fuji rises behind a red pagoda amid falling cherry petals, a scene beloved by photographers. Cultural ties to Fuji run deep. At Fujisan Hongu Sengen Taisha in Fujinomiya, the head shrine dedicated to the mountain, sacred springs flow from Fuji itself, believed to cleanse body and soul. Seasonal rituals there honor Fuji's spirit, blending old customs with modern devotion. Fuji's image is everywhere on coins, stamps, and even manhole covers. It symbolizes endurance, balance, and beauty. In 2013, UNESCO designated it a World Cultural Heritage Site, not only for its natural grandeur, but for its immense cultural significance. Despite its fame, Mount Fuji still feels deeply personal. For some, it's a rite of passage. For others, a source of peace. As the Japanese saying goes, a wise man climbs Fuji once, only a fool climbs it twice. Climbing may be challenging, but whether you scale it or simply admire it from afar, Fuji leaves a lasting mark reminding us of nature's quiet strength and timeless grace. Rising from Cambodia's misty jungles, Angkor Wat is more than a monument. It's a heartbeat carved in stone. At dawn, the temple greets the sun, its towers catching golden light as if remembering the empire it once anchored. Built in the early 12th century by King Suryavarman II, Angkor Wat began as a Hindu temple dedicated to Vishnu before becoming a Buddhist sanctuary. It's the largest religious structure in the world. Angkor's design is both symbolic and masterful. Its 5 lotus-shaped towers represent Mount Meru, the cosmic center of the universe in Hindu and Buddhist belief. The surrounding moat symbolizes the cosmic ocean, and the long sandstone causeway leading to the temple acts as a bridge between the human and divine worlds. As you walk through its halls, time feels suspended. Over 600 meters of bas-reliefs depict stories from the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Among the most famous is the churning of the ocean of milk, where gods and demons extract the nectar of immortality. Each figure is exquisitely carved, frozen mid-motion, reflecting a blend of artistry and devotion. What makes Angkor truly special is the cosmic precision behind its architecture. The temple is aligned with the sun and lunar calendar. During the equinox, the sun rises directly over the central tower. This wasn't coincidence, it was intention. connecting earth and sky. At its peak, Angkor was a thriving capital, home to nearly 1 million people, one of the largest cities in the medieval world. Ingenious irrigation allowed agriculture to flourish, supporting temples, armies, and scholars. The grandeur extended to sites like Bayon and Taprom, but Angkor Wat remained the crown jewel. Over time, the empire declined. By the 15th century, Angkor was gradually abandoned. Climate change and shifting power likely played a role. Nature took over, trees wrapping around stone walls, but Angkor Wat endured. Monks stayed, locals returned. The temple never lost its soul. Today, standing before it at sunrise, when the sky glows amber and its reflection shimmers in the lily-filled moat, you feel more than awe. You feel memory, myth, and the quiet echo of devotion. Monks still walk its paths, incense still burns, and prayers still drift on the breeze. What touches visitors most is the spiritual weight Angkor carries. It's not just about grandeur, it's about connection to the past, to faith, to nature. There's a serenity here that doesn't come from silence, but from meaning. Whether in the inner sanctuary with its time-worn statues, or in the shadowy galleries where Apsaras dance in stone, every corner holds history. Angkor Wat is part of a vast complex. Taprom, embraced by massive trees, reminds us of nature's quiet power. Bayon Temple, with its serene faces watching from every side, evokes mystery and calm. Preserving Angkor is now a global mission. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992, teams from around the world work with Cambodian experts to protect its legacy. Visitors are asked to dress respectfully, honor restricted areas, and treat it not just as a tourist site, but as sacred. Spaced to Cambodians, Angkor is more than heritage, it's identity. It appears on the national flag, symbolizing resilience and spiritual continuity. Despite wars and upheaval, Angkor stands timeless and proud. When you visit, don't just take photos. Listen to the wind, the chants, the footsteps of the past. Let Angkor Wat teach you not just its history, but its patience, beauty, and enduring soul. Nanga Parbat, or the Naked Mountain, rises dramatically at the western edge of the Himalayas. At 8,126 meters, 26,660 feet, it's the 9th highest mountain in the world, but numbers alone can't define its legacy. Known as the Killer Mountain, it earned this name after claiming the lives of many climbers, especially during early expeditions in the 20th century when mountaineering was raw, risky, and relentless. To understand Nanga Parbat is to go beyond its deadly reputation. Unlike Everest, which is surrounded by other giants, Nanga Parbat stands alone, rising abruptly from the Indus Valley in Pakistan, with a staggering vertical relief of over 7,000 meters. Its isolation gives it a haunting presence, visible from miles away and deeply embedded in the culture and beliefs of the Gilgit-Baltistan region. The Rupal Face, on its southern side, is one of the highest mountain walls on Earth, climbing nearly 4,600 meters from base to summit. It's a daunting, sheer rise of rock and ice. On the opposite side, the Diamir Face is laced with glaciers and avalanche-prone slopes, where several expeditions have disappeared. Both faces demand not just technical skill, but total commitment and mental resilience. Yet, Nanga Parbat is more than danger. Its name, from Sanskrit Nagna Parvata, or Naked Mountain, describes its barren, treeless slopes. In the local Shina language, it's Diomir, or Mountain of the Spirits, said to be home to unseen forces, guardians or destroyers depending on whom you ask. Reaching Nanga Parbat isn't easy. Travelers usually start from Chilas or Astor, trekking deep into the Rupal or Damir valleys. The journey is physically demanding, with thinner air and expanding skies. But the reward is unforgettable, standing before a colossal white wall that humbles even the bravest souls. One of the best views of Nanga Parbat is from Fairy Meadows on the northern side. This alpine grassland lives up to its name, serene, green, and framed by pine forests. Getting there involves a nerve-wracking jeep ride along one of the world's most dangerous roads, followed by a scenic hike. But the peace that awaits is surreal. At night, stars blaze across the sky and the mountain glows under moonlight. Ethereal and still, climbers have long been drawn to Nanga Parbat. The first serious attempts began in the 1930s, mostly by German expeditions. In 1934, tragedy struck when an avalanche killed 10 people. It wasn't until 1953 that Austrian climber Hermann Buhl completed the first successful ascent solo, without oxygen, and after a grueling 40-hour effort. His descent included a night spent standing on a narrow ledge, making it one of the most legendary feats in mountaineering. In 2016, Nanga Parbat saw its first winter ascent, completed by Simone Moro, Ali Sadpara, and Alex Sikon, a historic moment earned through decades of failed attempts and heartbreaking losses. For non-climbers, Nanga Parbat remains just as moving. It commands respect. Standing before it, you feel the scale of nature and the fragility of life. Locals share chai and stories. You may hear of lost climbers, remembered more than mourned. Prayer flags flutter in the wind, and the silence is filled with presence. In the end, Nanga Parbat is more than a mountain. It's a place of contrasts of life and death, stillness and fury, spirit and stone. To see it is not just to witness nature, but to confront something deeply human. They call it the smoke that thunders, Mosio Atunya. More than just a waterfall, Victoria Falls is a living, breathing force of nature straddling the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. Here, the mighty Zambezi River plunges over a basalt cliff, creating one of the largest and most powerful sheets of falling water on Earth. Standing near the edge, the falls don't just roar, you feel them. The ground trembles, and the mist rises like steam from a giant's breath, visible from over 30 miles away. This mist nourishes a rainforest right at the edge of the dry savanna, creating a rare ecosystem where baboons, elephants, hornbills, and crocodiles thrive side by side, stretching over 5,600 feet wide and dropping more than 300 feet into a narrow gorge. Victoria Falls isn't the tallest or widest waterfall in the world, but it's the largest curtain of falling water. Early European explorer David Livingstone named it after Queen Victoria in 1855. But long before that, the Turquoise people revered it as sacred. To this day, rituals are still held to honor the spirits believed to live within its waters. What makes the falls especially unique is how they change throughout the year. During the rainy season, February to May, the falls are a deafening wall of mist and water, shrouded in rainbows and wonder. In the dry season, August to December, the water thins out, revealing the sculpted cliffs beneath. This is when thrill seekers head to Devil's Pool, a natural basin perched at the very edge where the Zambezi's calm surface offers a heart-stopping look straight down into the gorge. On the Zimbabwean side, the town of Victoria Falls is the main gateway, with easy access to the national park and a scenic trail offering 16 viewpoints, some close enough to drench you in spray. Across the river in Zambia, Mosi Otonya National Park offers quieter trails and the dramatic Knife Edge Bridge, where water crashes beneath your feet. For adventurers, Victoria Falls is a playground, whitewater rafting, bungee jumping off the historic bridge, ziplining across Batoka Gold, or soaring above it in a helicopter. Yet, this is just as easy to find, especially at sunrise, or on nights when a full moon reveals the rare phenomena of a lunar rainbow. The surrounding region is part of the Kavango-Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area, one of the world's largest protected zones. Wildlife roams freely here: elephants, hippos, and over 400 bird species, including the African fish eagle and elusive Tata falcon. At dusk, the calls of bush babies echo from the treetops, reminding you that this place pulses with life. But Victoria Falls also faces threats: climate change, hydroelectric dams, deforestation, and over-tourism. Fortunately, conservation groups and local communities are working to protect this wonder through sustainable tourism and ecological stewardship. Visitors can help by choosing local guides, supporting ethical lodges, and respecting the land and its stories. What moves me most about Victoria Falls isn't just its scale, it's the way it humbles you. In its mist and thunder, it speaks of time, resilience, and beauty. It's a place that carves stone and shapes lives. A place that you don't just visit, you feel deep in your bones and remember long after you've left. Rising above Cape Town's skyline, Table Mountain stands as a majestic guardian where the Atlantic and Indian Oceans meet. Its iconic flat summit has earned it a place among the new 7 wonders of nature. But this mountain is far more than just a scenic landmark. It's a symbol of deep cultural significance, ancient history, and extraordinary biodiversity. Estimated to be around 260 million years old, Table Mountain is one of the oldest mountains on Earth, predating the Himalayas and the Rockies. The indigenous Kauaisan people once viewed it as sacred, a place where the earth touched the sky. Even today, that reverence is felt, especially at sunrise, when soft clouds roll over its cliffs like a white tide. The mountain's signature flat top was formed through millennia of erosion. It consists mainly of hard Table Mountain sandstone sitting atop granite and shale. As softer layers wore away, the tough sandstone remained, forming a vast mesa over 3 kilometers wide. Often, a layer of cloud called the tablecloth drapes over the summit. According to legend, it's the smoke from a contest between the devil and a pirate named Van Hunks. Beyond its unique geology, Table Mountain is a biodiversity hotspot. It's home to over 1,470 plant species, many found nowhere else on Earth, earning it a place in the Cape Floral region, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Spring brings a burst of color. Proteas, ericas, and other native blooms cover the slopes, attracting sunbirds and tiny mammals called dassies, curious relatives of elephants. Visitors can ascend the mountain by a rotating cableway that offers sweeping views of Cape Town and the surrounding coastline. For the more adventurous, over 350 hiking trails crisscross the mountain. From easy paths to demanding climbs like Platiclip Gorge, the most direct route to the top dot at the summit, the view is breathtaking. Cape Town unfolds below, nestled between mountain and sea. The 12 Apostles stretch southward along the coast, while Lion's Head and Signal Hill frame the city from the north. On clear days, you can see as far as the distant winelands across the Cape Flats. Yet what truly sets Table Mountain apart is the sense of stillness it offers. Locals speak of its spirit, a quiet energy that makes time feel suspended. During apartheid, it became a symbol of hope. Activists sought refuge in its heights, and today it represents resilience and unity. Couples propose here, tourists capture memories, and Capetonians retreat for peace above the busy world below. Environmental challenges remain. The Cape Floral Kingdom faces threats from urban expansion, invasive species, and climate change. Conservation teams, including working on Fire and Table Mountain National Park, are actively protecting this fragile ecosystem through wildfire management and education. For photographers, golden hour on the mountain is unforgettable. As the sun sinks into the Atlantic, the cliffs blush with warm hues, Cape Town lights begin to flicker, and the wind carries a quiet tune from the sea. No two visits feel the same. One day, it's sharp and sunlit with eagles overhead. The next, it vanishes into a mystical mist. That ever-changing nature is its magic. It reminds you of your place in something ancient and enduring, not to make you feel small, but to help you feel connected. Whether you hike, ride the cableway, or simply breathe in the mountain air, Table Mountain is more than a destination. It's a spiritual landmark, a place where time slows, nature speaks, and the soul finds its compass. Tucked in the mountainous heart of Croatia, Plitvice Lakes National Park feels like stepping into a dream. Water doesn't just flow here, it dances. Nature composes a symphony of sound, light, and movement, and every trail feels like it leads deeper into a fairy tale. Covering nearly 300 square kilometers, the park is home to 16 terraced lakes connected by over 90 waterfalls. Yet the numbers alone don't capture the magic. Imagine walking on a wooden boardwalk above turquoise waters, the powerful Veliki Slap roaring nearby, and a gentle mist brushing your face. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979, Plitvice is among the oldest and largest national parks in Southeast Europe. What sets it apart is its ever-evolving hydrological system. The lakes, divided into upper and lower clusters, aren't linked by rivers, but by natural travertine dams, formed over centuries by the action of moss, algae, and bacteria. These living structures constantly reshape the landscape, forming new waterfalls and redirecting streams. No visit is ever exactly the same. The water here shifts color shades of emerald, azure, deep blue, or gray depending on minerals, organisms, and sunlight. Photos rarely do it justice. Plitvice must be experienced in motion. Its colors, textures, and sounds create a living painting that changes by the hour. Early morning walks through the park are almost spiritual. Mist floats across the lakes. Birds sing from ancient forests of beech, fir, and spruce, and wooden bridges carry you over pools so clear you can see fish gliding beneath fallen leaves. There's a sense of stillness, but also awe. The sound of water, especially after rain, becomes a powerful, enveloping force. At Veliki Slap, which plunges over 78 meters, you can feel the Earth's energy in every drop. Plitvice also holds deep cultural and historical significance. Inhabited since prehistoric times, it has seen Illyrians, Romans, and Slavic settlers. During the Croatian War of Independence in the 1990s, it was the site of the first armed conflict. That quiet strength remains in its soil and water. Exploring Plitvice means choosing from a variety of hiking trails, from short walks to full-day treks. The H route explores the forested upper lakes, while the K route combines both lake clusters, offering sweeping views and close-up encounters with waterfalls and wildlife. In winter, the park transforms. Waterfalls freeze into delicate icicles, snow blankets the forest, and silence reigns. Fewer tourists visit, but the reward is pure intimacy with the landscape. Bare rock, frozen streams, and snow-covered trees offer a different kind of magic. For wildlife lovers, The park hosts over 260 bird species, along with mammals like wolves, lynxes, and brown bears. While you're unlikely to meet them, knowing they're out there deepens the mystery and wonder. Plitvice isn't a place to rush. It calls for presence, for quiet observation. Sit by the water, listen to its song, and let it absorb you. Legends even say the lakes were formed by the tears of a queen who brought rain to end a great drought, myth or not. There's something sacred in the way water, stone, and forest blend here. Despite rising tourism, Croatia has worked hard to preserve the park's fragile beauty. Visitor numbers are limited daily, and sustainability is a core focus, ensuring that Plitvice remains as enchanting tomorrow as it is today. As someone who has visited many times, I can tell you no two visits are the same. Plitvice reveals its soul slowly, and once it does, it stays with you, not just for what you see, but how it makes you feel. The Matterhorn rises like a myth etched in stone, its pyramid peak slicing through the alpine sky. At 4,478 meters, this iconic summit straddles the border between Switzerland and Italy. It's not just one of Europe's highest peaks, it's one of its most unforgettable. To see it in person is to feel the heartbeat of the Alps beneath your feet. More than a geological marvel, the Matterhorn is a symbol of human ambition. For centuries, locals saw it as sacred and untouchable. That changed in 1865 when British climber Edward Whymper led the first successful ascent. The triumph was bittersweet. 4 of his 7 team members fell to their deaths during the descent. That moment marked the beginning of modern alpinism and forever altered humanity's connection with the mountain. Today, the Matterhorn continues to draw climbers and dreamers alike. Its near-perfect symmetry, shaped by tectonic forces over millions of years, seems almost too precise for nature alone. Yet it stands proudly, a masterpiece of stone, wind, and ice. At its base lies Zermatt, a quaint Swiss village where electric taxis glide through cobbled streets and snow-covered chalets. It's where alpine charm meets modern luxury. Every day begins with a glance toward the Matterhorn, whether basking in sun or shrouded in cloud. It sets the mood. From Zermatt, the Gornergrat Railway offers one of the world's most breathtaking train journeys. As the cogwheel train climbs, glaciers, alpine meadows, and marmots come into view. At 3,100 meters, surrounded by 29 peaks over 4,000 meters, the Matterhorn still commands all attention. Its 4 faces, north, south, east, and west, each have distinct personalities. The shadowed north face is a graveyard of failed climbs. The sunlit south face is bold and challenging. Climbers often describe the Matterhorn not just as a mountain, but a dialogue with mortality, a meditation on nature's beauty and peril. Yet you don't need crampons to feel its magic. In winter, skiers glide beneath its shadow. In summer, hikers pass wildflowers and larch forests on quiet trails. Edelweiss blooms on crags. Cowbells echo through the air, scented with pine and stone. The Hernley Hut, at 3,260 meters, is the launch point for many climbs. Reaching it by foot or helicopter is an adventure in itself. Here, weather shifts in minutes, storms appear without warning, and at night, stars feel close enough to touch. But the Matterhorn demands respect. It claims lives each year, reminding us that beauty often walks hand in hand with danger. That duality, majesty, and risk is part of what makes it so powerful. Legends swirl around it. Some say spirits live within its crags. Others believe it's hollow, home to dragons. Whether you believe or not, standing beneath it stirs something. Ancient in the soul, the mountain, though eternal in appearance, is changing. Warming temperatures melt glaciers and loosen ancient rocks. Roots once stable are now under careful watch. The Matterhorn is a living monument, not immune to time. Still, it endures. Each sunrise paints its peak with light, reminding us why. We travel not just for photos, but for the awe that lingers long after. Walk the Five Lakes Trail, where its reflection floats on still waters. Visit the Matterhorn Museum in Zermatt to discover stories of climbers past. The Matterhorn isn't just a mountain, it's a pilgrimage. And in its silent presence, it speaks to something deep within us, a kondua. Asterisk Cappadocia is more than a destination, it's a revelation. Tucked in the heart of central Anatolia, Turkey, this surreal landscape of cone-shaped rock formations, honeycombed hills, and vast plains was sculpted over millions of years by volcanic forces and erosion. But its beauty is only the beginning. Cappadocia tells a deeper story, one of survival, faith, and harmony between people and the land. The name Cappadocia comes from the ancient Persian Katpatuka, meaning land of beautiful horses. Horses once roamed freely across its valleys, and today, travelers can still explore the trails on horseback, just like in centuries past. What truly sets Cappadocia apart is how humans adapted to its environment rather than altering it. For thousands of years, people carved homes, churches, and entire underground cities into the soft volcanic tuff. In many villages, bakeries and workshops still operate within ancient rock caves, blending seamlessly with the past. Perhaps the most iconic symbols of the region are its fairy chimneys, towering spires shaped by wind and water. Many are topped with beetle skull caps, giving them a mushroom-like appearance. But beyond their whimsy lies practicality. They've long served as homes, monasteries, and places of refuge. Beneath the surface lies an even more astonishing world over. 200 known underground cities, with Durinkyu and Keimakli among the largest. These weren't just bunkers, they were complex, self-sustaining communities with air shafts, water wells, churches, storage rooms, and narrow corridors designed for defense. During invasions, entire populations could vanish underground for months, continuing daily life in torch-lit passageways carved centuries ago. In Gogrim, a small town at Cappadocia's heart, the Gogrim Open Air Museum, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, reveals early Christian life in Anatolia. Carved chapels and monasteries feature vivid frescoes from the 10th and 11th centuries. The dark church, Karenlik Kilis, especially stands out with its brilliantly preserved artwork, a spiritual sanctuary hidden in stone. Then there's the unforgettable experience of a sunrise balloon ride. As hundreds of hot air balloons drift silently above the valleys, the morning light paints Rose Valley, Love Valley, and Pigeon Valley in hues of pink and gold. It's not just a view, it's a dreamlike moment of stillness and wonder. Cappadocia also engages all the senses. Wild thyme perfumes the breeze. In Avanos, artisans shape pottery using traditions passed down for generations. Local women weave carpets rich in symbolism, each knot carrying a story or wish. The cuisine is equally rich: clay pot stews, testi, kababi, sun-dried apricots, and wines from grapes cultivated since ancient Hittite times. The region's spiritual roots run deep. It once sheltered early Christians fleeing Roman persecution. Monks and hermits lived in solitude within the cliffs, turning the land itself into a quiet sanctuary. That sense of stillness endures to daytime, seems to move slower here in reflection and reverence, yet Cappadocia isn't frozen in time. Sustainable tourism has brought renewal. Family-run guest houses welcome visitors warmly, Local guides lead hikes through hidden valleys, sharing folktales passed down through generations. Crafts and cuisine are not relics, they're a living part of daily life. Despite its fame, Cappadocia remains personal and intimate. Around every corner is an unexpected moment, a forgotten chapel bathed in sunlight, a farmer tending vines near his ancestors' cave home. These quiet discoveries are what define the true spirit of Cappadocia. It's not just a place you visit, it's a place that opens itself to you, layer by layer, silence by silence. Rising from Sri Lanka's lush central plains, Sigiriya, or Lion Rock, is one of the most remarkable archaeological sites in the world. Towering 200 meters above the surrounding forest, this massive rock fortress blends history, myth, and landscape into a breathtaking vision. But Sigiriya is more than a visual marvel, it's a powerful story of ambition, betrayal, and artistic genius. As you approach, the site feels almost dreamlike. A giant rock outcrop emerging from the earth, framed by symmetrical gardens and tropical forest. At its peak lie the ruins of a grand palace, silent witnesses to a king's extraordinary vision. Built in the 5th century CE by King Kashyapa, Sigiriya reflects the ruler's desire to secure power after a violent coup in which he killed his own father. Fearing retaliation from his half-brother Magallana, the rightful heir, Kashyapa moved the capital deep into the jungle and chose this massive granite outcrop as the heart of his fortress. But what he created wasn't just a stronghold, it was a symbol of divine authority. The entire layout echoed sacred Buddhist and Hindu cosmology, mimicking Mount Meru, the mythical center of the universe. From ground-level gardens to rock-top palaces, every structure combines spiritual symbolism with defense. Among the site's most fascinating features are the water gardens, engineered with incredible sophistication. These geometric pools, fountains, and underground conduits still function today. During monsoon rains, an astonishing feat of ancient hydraulic design. The climb up the rock is like walking through a living museum. One standout is the mirror wall, once polished so brightly that it reflected like glass. Over centuries, visitors carved poems into its surface, some dating back over 1,000 years. These inscriptions are among the earliest known examples of Sinhalese secular literature and reveal the awe Sigiriya inspired even then. Higher up, under a sheltered ledge, are the Sigiriya frescoes, vivid portraits of celestial women painted directly onto the stone. Believed to be apsaras, divine nymphs, or perhaps royal consorts, their serene expressions and intricate adornments have survived centuries of weather and time. Though only 21 frescoes remain, they are a pinnacle of Sri Lankan art and testament to Kashyapa's refined taste. Perhaps the most iconic moment of the ascent is the lion gate flanked by 2 massive stone paws, remnants of a gigantic lion statue. This was no ordinary gate, it was a statement. Visitors entered the palace through the body of a lion, a symbol of power, nobility, and divine right. At the summit lie the ruins of the palace stone foundations, water pools, and panoramic terraces with views stretching across the Matali plains. One can almost imagine the king standing there, powerful but paranoid, surveying his kingdom. But Kashyapa's reign ended in tragedy. When Magallana returned with an army, Kashyapa made a fatal mistake. He dismounted his elephant mid-battle, confusing his troops. Defeated, he chose suicide over capture. After his death, Sigiriya never served as a royal capital again. It later became a Buddhist monastery, which flourished for centuries before being swallowed by jungle. Rediscovered in the 19th century, Sigiria has since earned recognition as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, it stands not just as a monument to a complex king, but as a symbol of human aspiration, our eternal desire to merge nature, art, and legacy. As a guide, I always tell travelers, Sigiria isn't just something you see, it's something you feel. With every step, you connect with a civilization that dared to carve its dreams into stone. And when you reach the top, don't just look outward, look inward. Because Sigiria is more than a fortress. It's a mirror of history, culture, and ourselves. Lake Baikal, tucked in the heart of Siberia, is more than just the world's oldest and deepest freshwater lake. It's a living monument to Earth's ancient history. Often called the Sacred Sea or the Galapagos of Russia, it stretches over 395 miles and plunges to depths of 5,387 feet, holding nearly 20% of the world's unfrozen fresh water, more than all of North America's Great Lakes combined. But Baikal's magic isn't just in its numbers. It pulses with life, mystery, and deep spiritual meaning. Formed 25 to 30 million years ago, it's part of an active rift valley that continues to widen every year. Yet despite its vastness, standing by its shores feels strangely intimate-like. The lake is whispering stories from another time. Winter transforms Baikal into a surreal wonder. Its surface freezes into thick, transparent ice, often up to 2 meters thick, revealing fish swimming beneath and trapping ancient methane bubbles like time capsules. The ice creaks and hums with eerie sounds, an unforgettable natural symphony that haunts the silence. But life doesn't stop under the ice. The lake is home to over 3,700 species, more than half found nowhere else on Earth. Among its most iconic residents is the nirpa, or Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal species in the world. These plump, playful animals bask on the ice or glide beneath it with ease. Even smaller, but no less vital, is a Piscura baicalensis, a tiny crustacean that keeps Baikal's waters among the clearest in the world. These microscopic cleaners help maintain the lake's purity. Many areas are still clean enough to drink straight from the surface. In summer, visibility can reach up to 40 meters. Culturally, Baikal holds deep spiritual weight, especially for the indigenous Buryat people. They consider the lake sacred, with legends describing it as the father of all waters. One tale tells of his daughter, the Angra River, who fled to marry the Yenisei River. In grief, Baikal hurled a rock after her, a stone that still stands. Near the Angura's mouth, where locals leave offerings for blessings, Okan Island, the largest in the lake, is considered a spiritual heartland. Rich in shamanic tradition, its shaman rock draws both pilgrims and tourists. It's more than a photo spot, it's a place of ancient rituals, where visitors still report feeling a powerful, mysterious energy in the silence. Despite its grandeur, Baikal is fragile. Pollution, climate change, and illegal tourism threaten its ecosystem. The Baikal paper mill, once a major source of contamination, closed in 2013, but challenges remain. Conservationists, scientists, and local communities are working to protect its delicate balance and unique biodiversity. One memorable way to experience the lake is via the Circumbaikal Railway, a historic route along the southern shore. As part of the Trans-Siberian Railway, it features tunnels, bridges, and views that reveal the lake's rugged beauty, an experience that feels like stepping back in time. In summer, Baikal comes alive with greenery and color. Taimen fish roam its waters, wildflowers and berries cover the land, and hiking trails wind through forests to hidden beaches. Adventurers can kayak, cycle, or visit remote Buryat villages where ancient ways still thrive. Yet beyond all the science, And stories, Baikal holds something deeper, an unspoken presence that lingers in the air, the ice, and the wind. It's not just a lake, it's a mirror to something ancient and untamed. In a rushing world, Baikal reminds us to listen to the silence, the spirit, and the soul of the earth. Fagradalsfjall volcano, located in Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula, is a humbling yet awe-inspiring reminder of the Earth's raw power. Unlike towering volcanoes, it rises modestly, but when it erupted in 2021, after nearly 800 years of silence, it captivated the world. Beneath Iceland's moss-covered lava fields lies a living, shifting world of fire, and Fagradalsfjall brought it to the surface. The eruption wasn't catastrophic. There were no massive ash clouds or evacuations. Instead, it offered a rare, almost poetic, opportunity to witness creation in action. Thousands of visitors hiked through rugged terrain to watch lava fountains light up the Icelandic dusk, a surreal spectacle that felt both ancient and intimate. It was as though the Earth had quietly invited us to witness something it usually keeps hidden. The name Fagradalsfjall translates to Beautiful Valley Mountain, and the landscape lives up to it. Jagged lava fields, steaming vents, and moss-covered ridges stretch for miles. This region sits on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where the North American and Eurasian plates are slowly pulling apart, a rare sight above sea level. The very ground moves beneath your feet. What sets Fagradalsfjall apart is how accessible the experience was. During the 2021 and 2022 eruptions, marked hiking trails allowed safe access to prime viewing spots. Unlike remote or dangerous volcanic sites, this one became a classroom welcoming scientists, photographers, and curious travelers. To see lava up close, to feel its heat, smell the sulfur, and hear it crackle into solid rock is unforgettable. There's a profound quiet here, broken only by wind and the distant rumble of molten rock. Many visitors describe a deep emotional reaction, some even moved to tears, not from fear, but from a powerful connection to the Earth's beauty and volatility. The Reykjanes Peninsula is geologically rich, with geothermal fields frequent, quakes and interconnected volcanic systems like Svartsengi and Krusuvik. Scientists believe Fagradalsfjall's eruption may signal a new volcanic era for the region, with decades or even centuries of recurring activity ahead. Icelandic folklore adds another layer to the experience. Stories of trolls and hidden people reflect a culture shaped by the land's unpredictability. Some locals even see eruptions as nature's way of cleansing and rebalancing. In Grindavik, the nearest town, residents greet visitors with a warm, pragmatic hospitality. Over coffee or bowls of lamb stew, they share stories of living on an island born of fire and sea. Photographers from across the globe came to capture the spectacle, glowing lava rivers against pastel skies like scenes from another planet. It wasn't special effects, it was nature's theater, unfolding live. At night, the lava glowed like embers. Wrapped in blankets, people watched silently, sipping hot drinks, as if keeping vigil at Earth's hearth. Even now, with the eruption over, the black lava fields remain sharp, fresh, and still warm in places. Walking across them feels like stepping onto freshly written history. Fagradalsfjall isn't just a volcano, it's a story of resilience, transformation, and awe. Whether it erupts again soon or sleeps for centuries, it's already etched into memory. It reminds us that Earth, in all its beauty and fury, is still alive, still telling its story beneath our feet. Tucked into the folds of Morocco's Rif Mountains, Chefchaouen is a dream in blue. Every alley, staircase, and doorway is painted in shades from periwinkle to deep cobalt, creating a soothing palette that invites calm. But beyond its iconic hues lies a city rich in culture, history, and quiet soul. Founded in 1471 by Moorish exiles fleeing the Spanish Reconquista, Chefchaouen began as a fortress town. Over time, it became a blend of Berber, Andalusian, Jewish, and Arab influences, a fusion still visible in its architecture. From turquoise doors to arched passageways and wooden balconies that tell tales of centuries past. Why blue? Theories vary. Some say Jewish refugees introduced the color in the 1930s to symbolize the divine. Others believe it deters mosquitoes or keeps buildings cool. Locals often just smile and say, "Blue brings peace." And when you find yourself alone in a quiet alley at sunrise, you'll feel that peace wrap around you. Exploring Chefchaouen is less about landmarks and more about feeling your way through the Medina. Around every corner, surprises await. A sleeping cat on a step, a Berber woman selling hand-woven rugs, or the scent of fresh bread drifting from a nearby oven. Life here moves slowly, softly, with only the occasional call to prayer or breeze stirring the silence. At the Medina's heart is Plaza Yuda El Hammam, a square surrounded by cafes and overlooked by a 5th-10th century Kasbah. Inside are a garden, a small museum, and an art gallery that offer glimpses of the city's layered history. Climb the Kasbah's tower for a panoramic view of red rooftops and blue alleys winding toward the mountains. Artisans fill the narrow lanes, selling woven blankets, goat leather bags, handmade soaps, and pottery in the same blues that coat the town. These are not mass market souvenirs, but reflections of heritage crafted with pride and past. Down through generations. Just outside the city lies Ras El Ma, a mountain spring where locals still wash clothes beneath fig trees. The sound of rushing water, laughter, and the scent of mint tea make this spot feel timeless. From here, trails wind into the hills, offering views, solitude, and a deeper connection with the land. One trail leads to the white Spanish mosque, perched on a ridge above the city. Built in the 1920s but rarely used, it now offers one of the most breathtaking sunset views in Morocco. As the sky turns orange and pink and the city below glows with cool blue light, it feels as if time has paused. The Rif Mountains give Chefchaouen its distinctive rhythm. Unlike the dry high Atlas, the Rif is lush in spring, blanketed in wildflowers and olive groves. This fertile land shapes the cuisine. Think steaming harira, spiced meats, and basara, a thick fava bean soup served with olive oil and warm bread. But perhaps the city's greatest gift is its pace. Here, you don't rush. You sip tea slowly, greet strangers warmly, and lose track of time. Conversations unfold naturally, and small details like vines climbing old stone or shadows dancing across a wall become moments of quiet beauty. Though it's no longer a secret, Chefchaouen has retained its soul. Step away from the main paths and you'll still find boys playing soccer in narrow alleys, elders sharing backgammon games, and women hanging laundry with care. As night falls, lanterns cast golden light on indigo walls, and the calls to prayer echo through the valley like a gentle hymn. In these hushed hours, Chefchaouen reveals its true self, not just a place to visit, but a place to feel, reflect, and simply be. Rising like a crown at Jeju Island's edge, Seongsanil Cholbang, or Sunrise Peak, is one of South Korea's most iconic natural wonders. Formed by volcanic eruptions over 5,000 years ago, this dramatic tuff cone stands at the island's eastern tip, where the sun greets Korea before anywhere else. Its name translates to Sunrise Peak, and watching daybreak from here is less about observation and more about connection with nature, time, and self. From afar, Seongsan resembles a sleeping fortress, its rims serrated like a crown. Up close, it's a peaceful climb along a well-maintained trail flanked by windswept grasses and coastal views. The path gently ascends to a panoramic summit, revealing fishing boats on the sea, volcanic plains inland, and the Pacific's vast breadth. Below dot at the top lies a crater 600 meters wide and 90 meters deep, blooming with greenery, unlike most volcanic calderas. This one feels alive, especially in spring and summer, when the bowl turns lush and vibrant. In the early light, it looks like a natural amphitheater cradling the sky. From here, Jeju stretches out like a rotating canvas fields behind, sea ahead and the rhythm of tides below. But this site is more than just a view. Locals see Seongsan Il-cheolbong as a symbol of rebirth and endurance. It's been the setting for sunrise rituals and romantic folklore for centuries. On New Year's Day, people hike here to greet the first sun of the year, hoping for renewal and luck. Even outside tradition, the sunrise casting golden rose hues across land and sea feels deeply personal. Geologically, it's a textbook example of a Frito-magmatic eruption, where magma met seawater, causing a violent explosion and forming the cone. Its steep coastal cliffs and rare ecology earned it UNESCO World Natural Heritage status as part of the Jeju Volcanic Island and Lava Tubes designation. Adding to its cultural richness are the Hanyeju's famed female freedivers. These women, many elderly, dive without oxygen tanks to harvest seafood, keeping alive centuries-old traditions. Below Seongsan's cliffs, you might spot them surfacing from the sea, their silhouettes framed by black lava rock. Sometimes, their songs echo along the shore, a haunting connection to Jeju's living heritage. Just beneath the peak lies Seongsan Village, a quiet spot with cozy cafes, seafood stalls, and local art. After the climb, many visitors linger here, enjoying warm bowls of jeonbokjuk, abalone porridge, or sipping barley tea as ocean breezes pass through. Unlike other volcanic landmarks, Seongsan Il-cheolbong weaves geology with story. Every gust of wind carries legend. Every shaft of light echoes past footsteps. This place doesn't just occupy space, it stretches across generations. On misty days, it seems to float above the sea. On stormy ones, it stands unshaken, a guardian of memory. Photographers and nature lovers alike are drawn here. The dawn light is soft and golden, perfect for capturing the crater's textures and hues. Drone footage, where permitted, reveals its symmetry and sheer drop to the ocean. But even without a camera, the experience stays with you. Ultimately, the magic of Seongsan Il-cheolbong isn't just in what you see, it's in how it makes you feel. It's a place to pause, reflect, and remember your place in the world. Born of fire, shaped by time, and bathed in light, it reminds us that beauty can rise from chaos and peace from stillness. In a fast-moving world, Seongsan invites you to rise early, walk gently, and watch the earth turn toward the sun. Tucked near the charming Swiss town of Schaffhausen, the Rhine Falls is Europe's largest and one of its most awe-inspiring waterfalls. This natural giant isn't just a visual marvel, it's a living relic of Earth's deep geological history and a powerful symbol of nature's enduring rhythm. Formed over 14,000 years ago during the last ice age, the falls were shaped by shifting glaciers that altered the course of the Rhine River. Today, A thunderous 150-meter wide curtain of water plunges 23 meters into the riverbed, a spectacle created by thousands of years of erosion and movement. But beyond the numbers, it's the experience that stays with you. The vibration in the air, the mist on your skin, and the deep, resonant roar that fills the valley dot in summer. As much as 600,000 liters of water tumble every second, creating a soundscape both wild and mesmerizing. Yet amidst all this power, there's serenity, especially from the panoramic viewing platforms and forested trails that surround the falls. Visitors aren't just observers here, they're immersed in the scene. Boat rides take you close enough to feel the spray, and the adventurous can climb a rock islet at the waterfall center for a 360-degree view like no other. The nearby Laufen Castle, perched above the falls, adds a historic charm. Dating back to the 9th century, it once guarded important trade routes and now houses exhibitions about the Rhine River's natural and cultural significance. The contrast of the ancient stone against the untamed energy of the water creates a sense of timeless connection between human legacy and natural wonder. The Rhine Falls has long been a source of inspiration. Writers like Goethe once stood here, calling the scene sublime and eternal. Scientists, too, are drawn to the site, using it to study erosion, sediment patterns, and the transition between hard limestone and softer rocks, which explains the dramatic drop in the riverbed. Nature lovers will appreciate the biodiversity in the area. Riverbanks support mosses, ferns, and water birds, while the nearby forests are home to foxes, deer, and occasionally even lynx. Conservation efforts aim to balance tourism with protection, so the falls can be preserved for generations to come. Visit early in the morning for a more peaceful scene. The mist glows in the sunrise, birds circle overhead, and the crashing water feels more intimate than overwhelming. In winter, parts of the falls freeze into crystalline forms, transforming the site into something magical and almost dreamlike. Cultural legends also surround the falls. Stories speak of river spirits guarding the valley or nights leaping into the torrent to prove their courage. Whether myth or metaphor, these tales reveal how deeply the falls resonate with those who visit. And of course, no trip here is complete without tasting Swiss cuisine in one of the nearby villages. From fondue and rasti to fresh Rhine-caught fish, all best enjoyed with local wines and a view of the roaring Cascade. In a world that's constantly changing, the Rhine Falls remains ever-moving, ever-present. Whether you come for adventure, reflection, or simply to feel something larger than yourself, this natural wonder offers more than just beauty. It offers perspective on strength, time, and the enduring power of nature.